We're live.
Morning, everyone. I'm Mike Gadalizzi, CEO of the American Supply Association. I'm joined this morning by Amy Black, the Vice President of Education, Mike Miazga, Vice President of Membership and Sales, and Steve Rossi, ASA's Director of Government Affairs. Earlier in the week, I gave a CEO update on what's going on. Thought after hearing this morning's team meeting, because ASA staff, we meet regularly talking about what's happening, that rather than me droning on, it'd be better for you guys to hear from some of the team members on the great things that we're doing to help you during this crisis. Before I turn it over to them, just a quick update. We've had a very, very busy week. You'll hear more about it in detail, but we had an excellent economic forecast webinar with Chris Keel. Had a lot of favorable feedback from all of you that saw that. We also did a town hall with a few of the distributors that are on the front lines and experiencing some of the COVID impact. And this morning we're having a safety webinar put on by the safety committee talking about what you should be doing to protect your companies and what to do in case you get hit with a COVID case in your operation. So that's going on today. Really proud of the team and the work that they're doing a phenomenal job posting things on our COVID site on the homepage. So continue to direct you there and your teams and get all the great information we're posting. Now, the other thing too is we've been posting a lot of information, and we know you just can't read anymore. I mean, the last thing you want is a 15-page government report. You just want to hear what you need to do. So we've shifted this past week to more short webinars on what you need to be doing. So this is part of that. So just quickly, we've been reaching out, talking to a lot of our members, and you're obviously being impacted now by what's happening. You're kind of shutting down a little bit, moving your counters to outside while you're still trying to service your customers, but keeping the virus outside of your operations. So we know you're all being impacted. We've also talked to a number of our manufacturers. Clearly, they're being impacted. Orders are being cut and slowed. So the number I keep hearing is 20 to 30% down this month and potentially in the next month, but there is hope at the end of the tunnel. A lot of you are optimistic by June, July, we start coming out of this. So we'll continue to crank out great information on a daily, weekly basis. So keep going to the COVID site for those updates. So what I'd like to do is just turn it over to the team and talk about some of the great things we're doing to help your team. So Amy, if I could, like to have you talk about the great things the Ad Foundation is doing to help our members.
Absolutely, thanks, Mike. So from the education and training standpoint perspective, our priority was to make sure that membership, that you guys had information on the virus, how to prevent it, everything from hand washing, workplace preparation, in addition to the new remote working scenarios that many of you are facing for the first time. And so we've curated a library of 27 free courses covering all of those different topics. And you can access those directly at asauniversity.net or through the COVID preparedness website that ASA has. Additionally, we continue to offer free manufacturer training. Our members are looking to continue to develop their people. There's some downtime, remote working. We want to make sure that all those people are sharp when we get back to normal. And so in addition to those free manufacturer training courses that we always offer, we have discounted our entire library of courses that we've developed for this industry, and they're all available now for $25 a piece from the online store. So you can go directly and continue to develop your people. So we just want to make sure that you have that training, you have that education. As always, the entire team is here for you. So if there's anything that we can help, make recommendations, put together some packages, please reach out to us.
Awesome. Thanks, Amy. So Amy, are you getting a sense that the membership is starting to respond and take advantage of some of this content while their teams are working remotely?
Absolutely. In the past week, the usage on those COVID courses has been great. A lot of interest in just learning about prevention, what they need to do. Just a typical course on hand washing is one of our popular courses. And so members are taking advantage of it. It seems like members are in different states and priorities right now. And so we just want to be able to respond in any way that's necessary.
Great, awesome. And I know your team's doing an outstanding job reaching out to members and talking about what we could do to help them. So awesome job the team's doing there.
Absolutely.
So thanks, Amy.
Here to help.
Steve, you've been on board ASA for a short period of time, and you've been thrust into a major pandemic, and a lot of activity ramped up quickly by the advocacy team. So you want to give us a quick update as to what we're doing from an advocacy standpoint?
Thanks, Mike. I mean, what a historic 2 weeks we've just lived through. At the federal level, we had been working individually and with our coalition partners to encourage the federal government to include our industry as essential business. The Department of Homeland Security set out guidelines for states, so when they issue their stay-at-home orders, they could adopt those regulations as well. We've seen what, I think the official ASA term now is whack-a-mole, as we go from state to state, as different states institute stay-at-home or shelter-in-place orders. We've heard a lot from our members in Pennsylvania, Michigan, even Texas, about how these regulations are unevenly attributed in their respective areas. We've talked to a number of manufacturers, people within the supply chain, even in some areas where you have our industry as an essential industry. Sometimes some of that supply line is deemed non-essential. So we've been working with a lot of our members to help them navigate the process, to fill out waiver letters, to encourage states to include those people in the supply line as well. We've had a ton of stimulus come out. We just had the third bill passed last week, the CARES Act. Even before that, the Families First Coronavirus Response Act is being implemented as we speak. Especially of interest to our members is the SBA loan portion, which today is the first day that you can go talk to your commercial banker to apply for those loans. Usually when the federal government passes legislation, federal departments and agencies have months to implement some sort of process. In this case, they had days. So we'll see how it turns out. House Democrats are looking at maybe introducing a fourth stimulus package, focusing on energy and infrastructure. Senator McConnell wanted to put the brakes on for a little bit and see how the trillions of dollars that they're going to spend over the next few weeks turns out, but we might be able to see a new round of stimulus coming soon.
Steve, I know we initially launched the federal outreach to both the President and Congress, and we had pretty remarkable responses. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we've had a fantastic response from our members. We had instituted a messaging system through a platform that we use. We've had over 2,200 of our members contact the White House and their federal and state legislatures, encouraging them to keep our industry as an essential business. That resulted in over 8,300 messages sent out, which is absolutely phenomenal. And it was done in under 2 weeks' time. So we're really happy with that. And we're seeing it bear out now where certain areas such as Austin, Texas, even though that they're in a state that did not have a shelter-in-place order, they had shut down all construction. They just reversed that last night. So we're seeing it bear fruit. So it's been great, and thank you to everybody who's participated.
Great. I know we're keeping the link on the state advocacy just in case it pops up in other states. Those members in those states can then go on the site and then push that letter out to their elected officials in the state as well. So we'll keep that live for a while, I think, right? So.
Mm-hmm. And everything I talked about should be on our website. We'll have links there as well.
Great. Thanks, Steve. Mike, we've had a whirlwind of activity of cranking all kinds of information. Again, keeping it strictly as important, critical information that members need to hear. So you want to give us a little update on the site and the webinars we've been doing?
Yeah, certainly. Thanks, Mike. We have a COVID-19 resource page on the ASA website, asa.net, and you can find almost everything that Steve was talking a moment ago, all the critical stuff, whether it's apply for a small business loan, the CARES Act, that's all spelled out on there. Any type of federal or state action that was taken, it's all on that page. For about the last 2 weeks, we've got entries in there on stuff that we feel is extremely important to ASA membership. And again, without Steve's help on that and staying on top of the stuff on Capitol Hill and what's going on at the state level, that volume of information could not be made available to ASA members. So again, Steve, thanks for that. Mike alluded to two webinars that we did this week. The first on Wednesday was our chief economist, Dr. Chris Keel. He's going to be doing economic impact webinars related to the pandemic each of these 3 weeks. Our first one had over 400 registrants, close to 300 people were in that webinar on Wednesday. And just, I would encourage you, if you've not taken a look at it, go to the COVID-19 resource page on our website and take a listen to that. He's got a lot of really good predictions. And for our PVF folks, he delves rather deeply into the oil and gas situation as well. And next Wednesday, he'll do his second one. This will be another update, another week into the pandemic and where he sees things currently. And then the week after that, I think he's going to go a little bit deeper into what we can expect short term, and then, you know, going into the late summer and into the fall as well. So that's available on our COVID-19 resource page. And then yesterday I had the opportunity to interview three prominent ASA member distributors, a little town hall type interview. Steve Edwards from Wind Supply, Bill Glockner, our current ASA president from Hirsch Pipe, and then Bill Condren from the Granite Group. And what that did was give, you know, we're cranking out all this material, keeping people informed on stuff that's going on federally, state, but to actually hear folks that are on the front lines that are dealing with this on a day-to-day basis, how they're running their businesses during the pandemic, and they even give their thoughts on where they see this going, again, short-term and long-term. I think that's an invaluable resource for our members. And I'm certain that if you're a distributor that's going to watch that video, you're going to take away a couple of best practices that you may be able to use in your day-to-day activities. And I'd also point people to the safety webinar that just recently concluded, that our Jim Kenzel moderated with folks from First Supply, Wind Supply, and the Granite Group. And listening to that, from start to finish, there's just so much stuff that best practice wise that our distributor members and even our, you know, all ASA members could use in their day-to-day businesses. So a lot going on right now.
Great. Awesome, Mike. Great report. One other thing we launched as of yesterday, ASA had been working on a virtual online Connect community. And basically what that is we're launching 9 different job functions, whether it's outside sales, showroom sales, operations, HR, training. So key functions. And we tested it at the end of last fall. The exec committee approved funding to launch these 9 sessions. Each session is 15 individuals in that specific job function from members across the country, facilitated by Jason Bader and his team. The plan is for one hour session per month. So we launched it yesterday. You all should be getting a letter with a link to the site, or you can go on the ASA homepage and click networking and then hit connect. It'll take you right to the information and how to register. The fee is free. The leadership wanted to make these virtual peer networking opportunities free of charge for this year. So we urge all of you to go ahead and register for those. Once we get the 15 people, the program is launched. Jason Bader then will reach out to the team, to the 15 folks, identify a day and time, and then that team will meet every month. Jason is making preparations to do it more frequently over the next couple of months. We thought that possibly once a month's not enough. We did have a ops group meet last week, and Jason said it was absolutely phenomenal. Everyone was talking about what are you doing differently in your company and sharing nothing but updates as to what everyone's doing to combat this. So go online, register. We planned the budget just for 9 of them, but based on attendance, and we really expect the attendance to be really outstanding. So we'll probably open up more and not just do the original 9. So go ahead and register, and we'll work to accommodate all of you. We originally started it as distributors only, but there's been strong demand on the part of the manufacturers and the reps to do it as well. So go ahead and register. Well, we're holding your registrations. Once we fill it and we get approval from the leadership to go ahead and budget for those, we'll launch manufacturer and rep ones. We know our rep membership is being hit particularly hard. I mean, their job is to be out on the street working with customers. They're all having to work remotely. So, you know, their world's being changed too. So looking to make this really a robust program. The timing couldn't be more important. As you're unable to go to meetings and whatnot, your teams can connect with their peers around the country and share these best practices virtually with Jason. So look for the registration info. But again, you can go right to the website as well. So guys, I really appreciate you joining me today and giving your perspective as to what's happening and what we're doing to support our members. As members, if you want to reach out to us, reach out to info@asa.net. We have published previously the emails of all the staff. So if you have those emails, feel free to reach out to the staff if you have any questions. So we've been thinking about you guys. Continue to be safe. We're getting through this thing, and ASA is here to help in any way we can. So thanks very much for watching this video. You three, thanks very much for joining me. And we'll see you guys next week. Thanks.